Welcome you back into Newsmax Now. I'm John Bachman. Agents from the FBI and the IRS raid headquarters for a soccer federation in Miami today. The Justice Department says it's investigating claims of corruption and believes soccer officials have taken millions of dollars in kickbacks and bribes. Today's raid in Miami comes after a number of high-ranking FIFA officials were arrested in Switzerland earlier this morning. In New York, prosecutors say a 35-year-old woman intentionally killed her fiancé while kayaking in the Hudson River. Authorities believe Angelica Groswald pulled the plug on her kayak, or pulled the plug on her fiance's kayak, and then pushed Vincent Villafore's paddle out of reach. Groswald reported him missing and was a beneficiary on his life insurance policy. Over in Iraq, government forces team up with local tribesmen to take on ISIS. This is just outside of Ramadi, and the operation is aimed at retaking the Anbar province. This comes just 2 weeks after Iraqi forces gave up control of the region following a fierce battle with ISIS fighters. And iPhone users, beware, a newly discovered iOS bug can cause your message to crash your phone and then reboot the device. According to Yahoo, it all takes a certain string of characters to be sent, or all it takes rather is a certain string of characters to be sent to your phone. Don't open that text message if you get something you're not sure about. And take a look at this. That's a tornado churning through Beaver Creek, Ohio. This amateur video captured the twister ripping past a shopping center. This is what it looked like afterwards. Police say the storms overturned several cars and damaged local businesses. One person was hurt in this storm.
It's been a crazy spring time for weather. My goodness, we've had all these floods and tornadoes and volcanoes erupted. I mean,
you know, we focus on this stuff a lot. It's happening, and it's certainly worth noting. And I am struck by the amount of video that comes in. Everybody has a cell phone now with a camera on it.
Right.
And are we really having more storms, or is it just more of it being caught on video, and that way it's able to be presented in a news format? But it's certainly interesting. It does seem that way, that there are more storms, and they do seem to be more severe. Meantime, former Senator Rick Santorum making an announcement on a possible presidential bid tonight, or this afternoon, this evening, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
There you go.
Depends where you are. Santorum ran in 2012, of course, and won the Iowa caucuses, but lost out on the nomination to former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney.
Now, if he enters the 2016 race, Santorum will join an already very crowded GOP field.
And it's going to get crowded faster and faster. More announcements coming up very soon. All right, let's shift gears now. Retired Army Colonel Derek Harvey says ISIS was able to seize Ramadi last month because the terrorists caught intel officials off guard.
Yeah, Harvey joined our very own J.D. Hayworth on Newsmax Prime to discuss how ISIS toppled Ramadi. Let's take a listen.
Ash Carter's comments were truly unfortunate because they misrepresented what was really going on the ground in Ramadi.
Derek, we talk about the risks of having the Iraqi military fighting alongside Shia militias supported by Iran. How much of a problem do you believe that might be?
Well, in particular in Anbar province, I think it's going to become more and more of a problem. There's clearly a sectarian Shia characterization to the actions going on in Ramadi. They've named the campaign plan after after Hussein, which is very important in the Shia context. So we're going to have some real problems, not at the beginning, but down the road.
Derek, we heard that ISIS changed its tactics on the battlefield, which led to their initial victory in Ramadi, despite being outnumbered. Apparently, they utilized suicide bombers, drove sedans instead of pickup trucks, and banned all social media discourse and interaction concerning Ramadi. Did this change in tactics catch intelligence officials off guard?
Clearly it did, and they achieved success because they overmatched tactically and operationally with mass, surprise, and maneuver, and it caught everyone off guard.
Caught everybody off guard. There's some controversy now swirling around as whether or not Jeb Bush said ISIS didn't exist when my brother was president, but people again going back, parsing those words. There have been references to the Islamic State going back as far, I think, as 2007.
Well, there's controversy also over how big of a threat ISIS really is. That's also been coming out. And then who's to blame for ISIS? Many Republicans will say the Obama administration, whereas you had Rand Paul today saying on MSNBC that he actually blames some of the members of his own party for it.
I think there's plenty of blame, if you want to call it that, to go
But
around
that doesn't change the situation, does it?
I think this is a situation that's been compounded by one decision after another that has failed to address the problem. You look at the Obama administration, you can go to Syria and his red line comments, which emboldened some of the Syrian people. And you can go back to Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which is the parent organization of the current incarnation of ISIS. A lot of blame.
Well, I think a lot of it happened too, again, and we've talked about this before, but I think a lot of it had to happen when we actually went into Iraq. We took out Hussein, and there was a Shia leader put in place. Now, I know you brought it up before that they elected the Shia leader, but the Shia leader kind of was helping his own cause and was ignoring a lot of the Sunnis and
They're talking about Nouri al-Maliki.
Yes.
Well, Nouri al-Maliki has been replaced.
So
and
maybe things will change. We
or
can only
maybe not.
hope.
More to come here on Newsmax Now. We're going to have a roundtable coming up right after this.